Hey everybody, it's Garrett. So uh, I'm traveling, so this is a late thoughts on Thursday. It is Thursday. I'm coming to you from my rental Jeep, and just finished having a bowl in my Mr. Brog frog. You guys can see if we can see that frog, kinda. You can kinda see it. There it is. But this is pretty full bend. I'd call it similar to an XLO2, so like a bent apple, bent author sort of thing. Big, thick walls. Big, thick walls on that guy. Had a bowl of H Burley Flake, but been trying some different tobaccos I got on this trip because I went down to see if I can. I went down to the Low Country brick and mortar store. That is smokingpipes.com's brick and mortar front, and I tried something I don't normally try. I went and got a bulk Cornell and Deal Smooth English. Uh, it's a 3-component blend. I have no idea the ratios, but I don't need a filter with it. Could be that I've been down here for enough days. My smokes are starting to taste richer. The same thing I experienced last time when I came down here. Something to do with the humidity and me. But I'm not getting as much tongue bite. Flavors are more nuanced. Like that unfortunately means that when I go back, I'm definitely going to have that period where when I go back home for the same period of time, everything will be so much worse. So try and enjoy the ups, acknowledge the downs for what they are. But the Smooth English is Burley, Latakia, Black Cavendish. That's it. And it is just that. It is a smooth English. And I like it. I really do. Um, so, yeah. Tried another blend from them. They didn't come with the jars, to be clear. That was a decision I made at the Dollar Tree. That one I've had before. Rivertown Oak and Ember. Here we go. So Rivertown Maple Cask. I wanted, because people had asked, people have been asking for something comparable to Maple Shadows, which there's not a lot. This one is not comparable to Maple Shadows. They are very different because there's no Darkfire Kentucky in this one. But I will say that on the tasting, I get something that I have not gotten from many aromatics, which was, so it's maple, you taste that, but primarily I get something akin to the taste of like, aftertaste of like marshmallows. So like, imagine like a marshmallow dipped in maple syrup, maybe not dripping, but like that flavor is there. So just I don't know, it's the thoughts on Thursday. um I don't have too many more thoughts, but I also don't want this to just be like a 3-minute video. So um I do have some news on the Peterson front. Uh, I made a comment about my disappointment with my most recent Peterson purchase on a Facebook post, and Glenn Whelan from Peterson actually reached out directly to me personally to try and understand the problem. So that was pretty unique. And I don't think I'm going to hear back from him today or anytime soon, because I mean, he's got a whole company to run. But just that effort was more impressive than what I got from the Smoking Pipes EU staff. And I made that clear to him in our conversation, that it's not that the pipe's not smokable. It's that I paid for a premium Peterson product, and I did not get a premium Peterson product. Um, and I think I was pretty clear, so hopefully that comes across. I did get to meet up with a few YTPC folks, and hopefully I get to meet up with some more. Um, if you guys are in the Charleston area, I'm going to be, if and when I can, if this project allows me to get away, you'll find me at West Ash Cigar. That's run by a friend I made my last trip. His name's Steve. He's an ex-firefighter. He's good people. I know that Skip has dropped in and visited with him. He's just really solid people, and he is trying to he's making a very solid effort at reviving the pipe community in Charleston, which is pretty much all cigar. There's not a whole lot of pipe choice. You go somewhere and they say, yeah, we have pipe tobacco, and then there's Lane Very Cherry and like one other Lane product typically, or like one Peterson tin, and it better be Hyde Park that you like, or one of the others. It's typically just aromatics everywhere. I mean, nothing against aromatics, but when you don't normally smoke aromatics, that's the last thing you want to be stuck with. You want all your smokes to be a choice, I think. I don't think you want just to have only one choice. I think if I only had one choice and I didn't like that choice, I just wouldn't smoke. And that's unfortunately the situation a lot of folks are finding themselves in down here. At least that's the story I get from folks who do see me smoke a pipe. And I said, well, what do you like to smoke? Well, I did smoke a pipe when I lived here, but now that I live in Charleston, I can't get the tobaccos that I like, so I just smoke like whatever's around like once or twice a year because I enjoy smoking. And that's it's sad because it's not that it is their choice, but it's not their choice, right? Like they're sort of corralled down this avenue where, like, yeah, I want to smoke a pipe, but Lane Very Cherry's not my thing. I also probably would slow down tremendously if I just had one choice, which is why I did not enter the Codger Challenge. And I had Yusuf at the house, and I did put a blend together. I could have probably smoked every single day. That one I put together with him, the Leaf Erickson, I think that's what we were calling it, the Leaf Erickson blend. It's it's a Candela cigar with chopped up into coins, broke up, and then Billy Bud Blonde and Oriental Silk, both from Cornell and Deal. It was rich and creamy, had some spices to it. It was very good. I could repeat that every single day. Probably not as often as I smoke now with all the choices that I have. And that brings me back to it. Like I do feel bad for the people in that position. So take from that what you will. But so for my trip, I brought a few pipes. I brought that Mr. Brog. I've got my Rattray's bare knuckle. It's a nice little clinchable guy. Just let it hang. Go for a drive. I did bring the Peterson because, well, I'm traveling. And if I'm going to abuse a pipe, it's going to be one that I'm not going to worry about destroying. So I guess I can show you guys that. So check that out. See the cut on the bowl when I hold the stem straight? But if I hold the cut on the bowl straight, one side of it still goes up because it was cut at a cup, and the other side goes off to that angle. Sorry about that. I had somebody come up with some questions. So I have that Peterson, and there's more issues with that, but they're very hard to capture on camera. It does have, I'll hold it like this here, put this pipe down. So it does have a slouch in the way it's cut here versus the way it's cut here. See if you can, if it'll make that out. It kind of, man, it does a really good job making things look prettier than they are, which tells you how ugly I am. But that's why when you hold it in your hand, it always makes you feel like you're about to tip the pipe over. It there's no one angle at which this pipe is perfect. Even in the back in the stamping plate, if you hold the pipe straight, the stamping plate is off to the side here. It's not a huge deal. That doesn't matter, but Peterson prides themselves on high quality, consistent pipes. And if that's your claim to fame, if it's hard to see a product like this and it having being sold as a standard premium product. So, not trying to whine, not trying to complain, but I do have this opportunity to explain a little further what's going on with that. It is so the bowl is drilled at this angle here, but the draft hole is drilled also at that angle there. So it comes off into the bowl at an angle. It's not the premium product. Still smokes fine. One of the other pipes I brought for the trip, the Suge System Poker. Freaking love this thing. I brought a radiator with the hardwood bowl. Takes a little more abuse. Needs a little less care. I do enjoy that one. Got my Missouri Meerschaum hardwood poker. I've got Missouri Meerschaum acorn cob that I'd modified, and I tried something different on this one. Didn't work out. I don't recommend trying it unless you're going to do it with just sandpaper, but doing it with the Dremel, it was skipping around where the denser parts of the cob is. I tried to see if we can get that to focus. Maybe. You might see it. I tried to bevel the edge of the bowl there, and it became very irregular where the soft and the harder bits of the cob are. I don't recommend that. It looks like it's a good word. It just looks poor. Trying not to cuss as much as I normally would. Then I have my Colonial Gentleman, as I made that cob mod video with. And I went to go make another video where I intentionally over drilled it, but the video actually was kind of trash, so you guys can't see that, but I intentionally over drilled it and put holes here and here. And I was going to show you a way to fix that, but the video didn't turn out very well, and I'm not doing it twice. Destroying a stem multiple times that I can't get a replacement for seems like a horrible idea. But essentially, you can color match the epoxy but you have to do little bits of color. It can't be deep colors if you want it to settle super hard. But you can take some acrylic dye that they use for when they mix like epoxy resin tables and stuff. And then you can apply it. I do it with a toothpick and just go over those areas as thin as possible, and then come back through and sand and shape, and it's pretty clean. It does discolor, so you will get some discoloration, but it is smokable. There's no problem using it. I use it all the time. That is the pipe stable for the next 2 weeks. One quick side note before the video ends. I did drive down to the Cornell and Deal factory. They were closed. So I'm going to throw some pictures in here of the outside of the building. There was no signage. I assume it's either a new building or something has changed. But the dead giveaway that it was their building is the small batch artwork decorates the outside of the building. I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to include some pictures here. And yeah, there we go. I will be watching videos or at least listening. I have lots of driving to do, um, lots of projects to work on. So I will be listening. You won't see too many comments from me. That doesn't mean I'm not watching. If I get the time, I will leave a comment, but not a ton of time. Katie is staying at home taking care of Ruffles. She's doing good, and yeah, hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope your Thursday was great. I know this is a little late in the day, but I did it. I hope everyone in the Codger Challenge keeps going. I'm rooting for you all because I don't know if I was at home surrounded by my blends, which I mean I've already surrounded myself with blends just on this trip alone. I don't know that I could just go with one um, and be totally happy knowing that like if I just walked 2 feet that way or whatever, I had access to more. So I'm rooting for you guys. Do better than me. But yeah, I hope you all have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.